I'm joined by Karol Itauma, of course his brother runs out again against an American fighter. We'll come on to that, but firstly, Karol, want to talk about the main event.
Yep.
This is extremely interesting because you've got an undisputed former champ there who's been at the elite level, but has had 3 fights in 3 years, and you've got an Englishman coming here who's been on an incredible roll, I think 3 fights in a year, who's looking to spoil the party here in Glasgow. How do you see this fight?
We were talking about it with our team, and they're saying we were both basically saying how like Echo, he is game, like he will come in and he will try to take it with no respect, and it just matches up to an intriguing fight.
Absolutely. As I said, Josh has been inactive, but he has been at that top level before and has only lost to Jack Catterall and Teofimo Lopez. No shame in that. So really, Echo's stepping up in levels here, but the inactivity of Josh, you think that could play a factor on Saturday?
Do you know what? I genuinely think like Josh will have to turn up. It can't just be like a 60%, 50% Josh Taylor, because I reckon that Josh Taylor would get beat by Echo. So he'll really need to, both men will need to turn up, and yeah, like I said, it will be an exciting fight.
For Josh as well, a step up in weight. He never said he struggled at 140, but he always did look a little tight. Said he made the weight fine though, but he's gone up to welterweight. So listen, that could be an advantage, it could be a disadvantage. We'll have to see.
It could, because obviously like when a fighter proper drains himself to the weight, it does have an effect on the performance. So let's see how refueled, how that extra strength, extra weight contributes or translates into the ring.
And for Echo here, I mean, if he does come to Glasgow and beats Josh Taylor, a guy who's known across the world, it's got to be a Brian Norman world title fight, maybe a Conor Benn. There's Jaron Ennis, there's Barrios, Pacquiao's back. I mean, there's a lot of doors that could open up for Echo Esserman. Absolutely,
like just one good performance like that, and your whole career trajectory changes. And like you said, loads of doors open up.
Well, listen, neither man's been stopped. They have both lost fights, but they've never been stopped, so it'll be an intriguing clash, and they both bring it, so look forward to it. We have to touch on your brother a little bit. I mean, for me, I shouldn't probably be saying this, but I've said it before, not just the best prospect in the heavyweight division, but in boxing, full stop for me. But that's kind of a bit of a problem as well, because people just don't want to fight him unless you're asking for a ludicrous price. Now, I guess that's where Francis, Frank and George, that's where the issue lies at the moment with Moses, really.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong there. Like some of the opponents that have been asked for, some of the money they've been asking for as well has been crazy. But it's just all about that incremental step-ups. Like obviously, Mike Ballagher's only lost to Gassiev, 23-0, 23-1, sorry. So it's a step up, and we're excited to see him back out. He's excited to be out because since the MC has been like 6 months. So he wants to be active, and this is that fight that's going to push him up again and then just keep going up.
Well, listen, we've seen some of the best fighters in the heavyweight division from Britain come to Glasgow, and I know a lot of Moses fights have been in London or Riyadh. So to build a star, you've got to go around the country. Anthony Joshua did that. So I guess it's a good stepping stone to go to Glasgow, to go to Manchester one day, to go around the country, to eventually end up in America.
Yeah.
But someone like him should be boxing all over the place.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Like, even that we look at his performance statement against MC McKean, since that fight, his profile has gone up since then. And with performances like that, it continues doing that. It's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
I mean, Lawrence Akoli actually started this. I first heard about Moses when he was 15. I think it was lockdown. And Lawrence Akoli, fair play to him, was quite open about how good this 15-year-old kid was. And he described the first spar they had, and he wanted to take it easy. And he then realised, oh no, I've got the shock of my life here, and I need to step it up. But he started really the noise around Moses, didn't he, Lawrence?
Well, I still remember that period because I was sparring Lawrence then as well. This was back when they trained in Canterbury, and I was there witnessing everything, and it is where it started all. And like my brother's vocal about it as well, Lawrence starting that. It's only been beneficial. So yeah, we've got respect for Lawrence.
You've got obviously a special insight as his older brother, and something that strikes me about Moses, and other people have mentioned it as well, you don't feel like you're talking to a 20-year-old. He's just turned 20. He's so composed and mature, and I guess it shows that age doesn't define maturity in a sense, but you know, as a 19-year-old, you could be forgiven for being a bit brash or saying, you know, saying outlandish things that you might look back at when you're 25, 26 and think, but he speaks like a seasoned pro already.
He does mention that it is how we've been brought up, or how we've been brought up, and he's always been mature. So now it's just showing. So yeah, it's exciting to see him grow, because even when he started as a pro, the growth from then to now, he was quite a bit timid. Well, not timid, but like reserved, shall I say. But now he's really coming out, and I feel like the more fights he has, the more he goes on, you just see more of his personality, and he is a very mature and composed character.
We know Alois and Moses. I thought they would have a face-off there. I mean, he's another one. Look, Alois is on the card. Obviously, you would have seen a lot of him when you were around your brother in Ben Davis's gym. What a beast he is, Alois Jr. And a tough fight against David Jamieson, but he's such an exciting prospect as well, Alois.
Absolutely. Like, I guess in that gym they just thrive off each other. So, and that's always a positive.
Absolutely. Well, there's some heavy hitters on this card. Moses Itauma, we mentioned your brother, Alois Jr. We have got a Scottish clash as well between Nathaniel Collins and Lee McGregor, which is a great appetizer going into the main event. Thoughts on that fight? Both of them, again, bring the heat, both of them, Collins and McGregor. Yeah,
to be 100% honest with you, Umar, I don't really know too much about Collins, but obviously like Lee McGregor, I've seen him out in Saudi and around as well. So yeah, it's exciting.
Well, you've seen a lot of Lee McGregor, and I'm sure you rate him. Collins is actually the bookie's favourite going into this fight, so that says a lot about this fight. The whole card really, when you look at it, I've mentioned Moses, I mentioned Alois, two of the most exciting guys, not just in British boxing and world boxing. You've got the Collins-McGregor fight, Taylor Esserman as a main event. These cards that Queensberry and DAZN are producing currently are top class.
Absolutely, and obviously some of that has been to the addition of Saudi and obviously the Riyadh season and that. So it's not only is it good for the fighters, but it's also good for the British public and the British fans that are tuning in to watch them. Okay,
listen, Karol, we will pick this conversation back up on. I'm told we've got to wait a couple of minutes for the presser. Just to go back to Moses, obviously you've got a special insight, Karol.
Yep.
We all know how special he is, but you truly know how special he is. Is it fair to describe him as a bit of a freak?
Depends what you mean by freak. My brother's talented, but it's not just talent, it's talent mixed with hard work. And at that stage, I just feel like he's God gifted. Like the ability that he's got been given is truly exceptional. And now it's just about showing the world what he can really do. And I believe in due time he will show, and he will showcase it.
There's been whispers about, a Martin Bakole fight. Frank Warren told me that Billy Nelson texted him and said we don't want that till the end of the year. Listen, Moses is not going to wait around for Martin Bakole, but as his brother, would you be confident if he stepped in with someone like Martin, who's at that world-class level, that he'd beat him and knock him out ultimately?
I have the full trust in my brother's ability and what he does in training. Like he leaves no stone unturned, and with that mentality and that work ethic, I believe he can beat them all.